Video about the T-57 Heavy, and is it worth the grind, and even if it is, which way do you take the grind onto, because there's two possible ways of really getting it, and I'll tell you the better option right now. And the best of course option is to go through the light tanks, because for me the light tanks actually have something really special about it. For example, the T49 is absolutely amazing if right you get the derp, right? But it doesn't happen often. It's not the best light tank I've ever played. It's not the most fun tanks I have ever played, but it's certainly better than the T69. I am sure on that. And then you have the Walker Bulldog, which is an absolute dream of a light tank to have. If you use the full auto, or you mean the full drum, which has like 15 rounds in there, or you can have the other option of having a single round, single reload tank. It's all up to you, but I certainly do think that it's essential for you to get yourself the T-57 Heavy through the light tank line, because the light tank line is just so much more interesting, and grinding the M7 is not going to be too bad. In the old days, you had the shitty M5 Steward that was just horrendously bad. I'll just check into the tech tree. I hope it didn't change much for all this time. Now, I think it was the Object that team shot my platoon mate here, who is an absolute brilliant player as well, and I love to platoon with him. So that was the first game we played together. So let me just have a look. On the top of my head, I think the tier 4 hasn't really changed much, except you don't get to see tier 8s anymore, so that's the good news. Okay, so you have the Steward at tier 3, that's pretty good. Tier 4 Steward, not as good, but now you won't see tier 10s anymore, tier 8s anymore, so that's pretty goddamn decent, at least compared to the time I played it, where you had to grind like 60k XP for the Shafi. The Shafi no longer as brilliant as it used to be, but then you got the matchmaking compensation for it, so still pretty good. Then you got the T37. The T37 is an absolutely amazing machine as well. So yeah, the T37 is just 100 billion times better than the T21, which is the other option. And then you have the Walker Bulldog. The Walker Bulldog just beats the T71. It just does everything pretty much better than the T71, so I don't really get the reason why you want to play the other line. And then you have the T49, and then the T49 is pretty decent as well. And then the T69 on the other tree is just next to horrible. Just don't touch that shit, because in my opinion, you should really just go for the light tank line, the T49 line, because you enjoy it a lot more. And simply, I don't think there's nothing you can unlock in the T69 then you can bring it to the T54E1 that you can't do in your T49 to the T54E1. So going down the light tank line is just so much better in my opinion. I don't recommend it going down the medium line. Medium/light lines. And then the tier 9 is an absolute monster as well. I have to say it's an absolute monster, because it's just simply so amazing, and you can do some real things in there. And then now you have this T-57, which is just all the way better. Now this tank is just such an amazing machine to do damage in. It's so OP if you got like a platoon of them. But even on your own, you're like a force of nature, because you only take you like 20 seconds to reload. Even after the nerf, this thing is still lethal on the battlefield, and I think you should have every single reason for you to get this tank. You see, I didn't do much damage, but you can certainly pick up kills in this tank. Not very hard at all. Trying to give the angle so T30 can shoot him. Oh fuck, I bounced that one. And my platoon mate takes the kill, which is decent as well. I mean, I don't need 7 kills, no different from 6 really. So now this game is pretty much over, and I have to say, just 100% get yourself this amazing tank. It's definitely one of my favorite tier 10, and I think you can't really go wrong with it because it's just an autoloader really. 4 rounds, and it's just decent. You definitely want to play with a platoon mate, because when you're reloading you want technically your platoon mate to scare them off so they don't come and charge you while you're reloading. So that's it for this video, and hopefully you like it, and we'll see you next time. This is definitely worth the grind, and like I say, go for the light tank line when you're grinding it. You'll enjoy it so much more.